Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Compelling Conversations podcast. Today, I'm joined by the amazing Amine. Amine, thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're joining us from the UH library, is that correct?
Hey, yeah. Third floor, the popular
Nice.
third floor.
Third floor.
Yeah, but it's nice because nobody's here. It's summer, so we can
Yeah.
actually get some studying done. Actually,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Amine, I wanted to begin by asking you something about your personality, which I really like. Um, you never make anybody feel like an outcast. Why is that?
I guess it's because I've been an outcast myself. I've been there. I know what it feels like. So, I was born here in the United States. I lived here for like 11 years, and I was always the weird kid. You know, like it's not like I didn't have any friends at all, but it was like I had certain things about me that people just didn't understand. And I know we hear that a lot. But what made it even worse is that I moved to like my whole family, my entire family, moved to Algeria when I was 11. So you can imagine the culture shock, and then bringing that aspect of like, you know, the weird things about me over there when it's already weird just made it weirder. You know what I mean? So I mean, I never got into any serious trouble besides, like passing by some weird neighborhoods or something like that. I don't know. But it's not like I was always welcomed. Like I remember there were certain times. So in Algeria, we like the kids they walk home. It's a very urban environment. It's not like here in America, suburbia and stuff, especially here in Texas where you have to drive all over the place. I would walk to school like and it would take me like 30 minutes every day. So as kids growing up over there, we would always just like walk home together. And they had this thing where it's like they let me walk with them, but they didn't want me to be there. So like I would like try talking to them, but they would just flat out ignore me. I would call their names and they wouldn't answer. And this one time I was all like, okay, I snapped. I was all like, okay, I'm gonna try this, right? I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna walk the other direction and see what they do. I walked the other direction and they just kept on going. They didn't even look back at all. And then I was all like, okay, that's it. I'm on my own. It wasn't until like my seventh year in Algeria that I made like not that I made that I ended up making decent friends. Because before that, like after the thing happened where I told you like my classmates flat out ignored me. I hung around some bad people and I picked up some bad habits. But yeah, like after all that, I met some pretty good people, and we clicked and stuff. And there were still weird things about me, but they were inclusive and they were understanding, and they thickened my skin a bit. And till this day, we're still friends. Like we don't talk that much, but that's just the part of growing up. Like especially guys, we like well, you won't talk that much with each other. You won't be on your phone all day because you got stuff to do. But like when I do call, when they do call, we stay on a call. We stay on the calls for like 50, 60 minutes, probably even more sometimes. So yeah, and that's where I get it. Like I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be there. I know what it feels like. It sucks, and having to go through that for the majority of my teenage years in Algeria. I don't want that for anybody. And yeah, and I also pick up a lot from my dad. My dad, I spent a lot of time with him growing up. He's my father figure. Obviously, he's my father, but other people have different father figures. Like some people have their uncle as their father figure. Some people have their older brothers. So for me, it's my dad, and he's just always been like that. He had a business back in Algeria. He would sell clothes, and he would drag me over there. He would drag me along. I hated it, but now I appreciate it. Um, and yeah, I just saw how he interacted with people, and it was always a beautiful thing. Like I was all like, okay, I want to be like him, or I want to be better. Besides that other inspiration, like Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he's my first inspiration, of course. But it's like, there we go.
I really like that. Yeah. I love that. And I've seen it, I've witnessed how you deal with people, and it's really cool. You have like these embracing arms for everyone, which is very, very it's beautiful, really is what it is.
You know what
Now,
helps, man?
what helps?
The fact that they're really long, bro. Okay,
Oh,
that was a
that's
bad
funny.
joke. My bad. No, no, no.
No, that's funny.
That's just funny.
Now that you're older, right? And now that you do have so many people that do love you for these qualities, how do you feel with the people that still might treat you as an outcast or might reject you? Does that even happen to you anymore?
Oh yeah, definitely. But that's a part of life. It's gonna happen. But that's where the thick skin comes in.
Why do you think people are like that, by the way?
Certain people have different priorities, and some people just treat others like another statistic. Some people are too invested in themselves, and no judgment, man. You do whatever you want. It's your life. But when it comes to me, I'm not gonna treat people the way I don't want to be treated. It's the golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So they do whatever they want, bro. I don't know. I don't invest myself too much in why they might do that. Maybe they got stuff going on in their families. Maybe they got stuff. I don't know. Maybe they're just like that. I don't know. You know. But yeah, I guess that's my answer.
Mm.
hmm
How much does brotherhood mean to you?
Brotherhood, like, be more specific. Because I got a brother and then I got brothers.
I guess both of those. Well, actually, how about you explain what is brotherhood to you in general, or how would you define it for yourself?
All right, brotherhood. Oh, it's a pretty awesome word. Let me start off by saying that it's a pretty awesome word. There's a song by Iron Maiden called Blood Brothers. You know Iron Maiden, the band?
No.
Yeah. So it's an English heavy metal band from the 1980s. That's not important right now. But basically, like, the title was Blood Brothers, and I was listening to it, and I was all like, damn, that's cool. Like, they were just talking about brotherhood and stuff like that. And so I guess what it means to me is finding the right people that will help you make that will help you make the right advancements in your life so you can get to where you want to go. And I just came up with that right now. Probably
That was good, actually.
unrefined.
I like that.
Yeah. So obviously there's like blood brotherhood. So like I have a 12-year-old brother. No, I have an 11-year-old brother. He's 12 years younger than me. And he's my brother. He comes for, like, no offense. And obviously, like, if you're truly my friend, you would understand this, because I'm sure you have brothers. Even if you don't, you probably have sisters, and that's the same bond. So they come first and foremost, right? No matter what, right? But the relationship I have with my little brother is like, I'm policing him all the time. I'm like, hey, make your bed, do the dishes, don't treat your mother that way, don't treat your sisters that way, do some push-ups or something like that. And then other times I'm like, hey, you want a PS4? Like, I'm trying to, yeah, I'm saving up to get him a PS4, inshallah.
Sure, that's cool.
Uh, yeah, so that's the relationship I have. But like, when it comes to people who aren't blood brothers, um, I'm very welcoming of people. But at the same time, I'm very careful of who I call my best friends. In fact, I don't like the term best friend. In fact, I kind of hate it, because, like, the amount of people out there who will call other people best friends, but they're actually fake, drives me crazy, man. There was this,
Elaborate on that. What does that mean?
so when you call somebody a best friend, right? That means that they're going to be there for you in thick and thin. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right? So if they're going to be there for you in thick and thin, you're going to expect them to do so. You're going to set them to a certain standard. When they don't achieve that consistently, like, obviously, sometimes things might happen and stuff like that. But if they don't achieve that consistently, that's when the doubts start arising. So if I were to call somebody a best friend, I'm setting them to a standard. And I can confidently say that the only best friends I have are my father, my mother, my sisters, and my brother. You know what I mean? I don't expect other people who aren't my direct family to be best friends because I don't expect them to hit that standard, and they shouldn't. Like they have their own stuff to do in their life, you know? Like I think people spend way too much time on things that are that aren't going to benefit them way too much. Like, yes, having friends is important, but what's more important than having friends?
What is more important than having friends?
Family.
Mm.
You know, like I know we're getting into a different a slightly different topic now, but it's related to the whole best friend thing, right? So you should be there first and foremost for my family. Like like this whole this past year, I was, yes, I was there for a lot of people, and I had welcome arms, but behind the scenes, I wasn't fulfilling my role as the oldest brother and the oldest in the family, and on top of that, a brother and a son. I wasn't fulfilling it. I would stay out late. I would cancel on my mother. I would cancel on my sisters. I wasn't there for my little brother. And like the and I don't feel I mean I don't feel comfortable revealing this stuff, but like in a way I kind of have, because I'm the one who brought it up and stuff like that. But yeah, it's like I was so invested in one aspect, which is the friends, that I completely neglected the other. Not completely, but I severely neglected it to my standards. Because to me, and uh, where I'm from, our culture, Algerian culture, and our deen, especially Islam, we take family very seriously. So yeah, I think there needs to be a balance. So obviously, you don't act like a complete douchebag to people. You have to have open arms and stuff like that. But there comes a time where you need to be like, okay, I'm sorry, I need to go do my own thing, but I'll be there for you some other time because I got family to take care of. I gotta work on myself, stuff like that. So, and I'm only bringing this up because like it's it's a personal issue basically. So I saw that there was an imbalance in my life where I was focusing way too much on friends and not too much on my other thing. I guess that's another thing I can bring up, imbalances. And yeah.
Coming back to the whole inclusivity thing, you mentioned the Prophet, peace be upon him. Why?
Oh, he's my role model, 100%.
Why?
What do you mean by
And
that?
role model in the sphere of inclusivity, why is he your role model?
Yeah, I think the best example I could bring up was one of the things that Sheikh Ammar said in his classes here at UH. I don't know if it was Sheikh Ammar or somebody else. No, I think it was Imam Mahad, the UH chaplain. He said that there was nobody in the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, nobody else in the community who was more inclusive to people than him. And he showcased that especially with people who were disadvantaged, like societally disadvantaged. They weren't the most handsome looking, the strongest, or the poor, the richest or anything like that. But basically, what's going on is he was trying to avoid clickiness. I hear this term a lot, clickiness, or I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. My English fails me sometimes.
Clickiness.
Clickiness. Okay, he was trying to dispel clickiness in the community, and I mean I see that a lot. And I experience.
I really like that
Yeah,
you mentioned that. Yeah.
yeah, I see that a lot, and I don't like it. Um, I really hate it because, like I said earlier, I know what it's like. You want to be a part of something huge like especially the Muslim community. And I'm not saying there cannot be any cliques at all. I'm just saying like don't be a douche. You know what I mean?
I do know
And
what you mean. It's too
yeah,
prevalent of a thing.
yeah, and like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very patient He was um very patient, very thoughtful towards his friends, towards his family, even to especially towards kids in the community. Like, you know, you remember how I was telling you, like, I treat my the way I treat my little brother earlier, and go wash the dishes, and I'll buy you a PS4. Blah, blah, blah. I get that from the prophet as well. Like, you know, for us, like growing up in Algeria, there was this thing where you know, parents and elders would be tough towards their kids. It's a cultural thing. But when I was learning more about, you know, the Deen, when I was learning more about Islam, and just looking at how the Prophet, peace be upon him, lived his life, I saw I saw like a different type of father, you know? Saw a different type of father, and I was all like, that's cool. I wish my dad was like that. You know? Like, I love my dad. And God bless him. You know, I really wouldn't be able to live my life without him. And there's 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 no doubt in my mind that he is like the most important person to me, alongside my mother, my sister, my sisters and my brother. But nobody's perfect besides the prophet, at least. Yeah, besides the prophet. And because of that, people make mistakes, you know. And my parents grew up in a time where, you know, the whole lovey-dovey thing, it was frowned upon. Like, I'm not a fan of lovey-dovey stuff, if you know what I mean. Like, sometimes the things that I say are very vague.
No, it's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
keep
cool.
going.
I'm not a fan of that. It's just because of, you know, the culture that I grew up with and stuff like that. But for my parents, it was even tougher. Like, there's this joke that we pull. There's this joke that we pull back home. Um, it wasn't even a joke. Like, there's this one dude who went on the news, right? He was an old dude who went on the news, and he straight up started telling people, go love your mom, go love your dad, go love your little brother or your sister. Why you gotta love other people's daughters? Why you gotta love? Not, and I don't mean it that way. I mean, like, why you gotta love other people's daughters, bro? What the hell is love? What the hell is this stupid thing, man? Love doesn't exist. Stop it. You know, like, there's only one type of love. Like, stop it. Like, people get married just so that the society can advance. There's no such thing as love. It was just some crazy old guy talking. But yeah, that's kind of like the kind of a joke, kind of like a joke we pull. It gets funny sometimes. But yeah.
I wanted to go back to the Prophet, peace be upon him. One of the things that he said, I don't remember exactly where it's recorded, but I believe it's a hadith. He said that he came to perfect manners. And I really like that he said this because I feel like a lot of Mohammedans, they don't really pay attention to that. I feel like they really like going back to this whole thing of making people feel like an outcast. Cliques. I've experienced a lot of that, not only in that community, in all kinds of communities, but
Mhm.
especially in this one where, I mean, he, you know, peace be upon him, came to perfect manners. I really like that. And I feel like that's very much a pinnacle of our faith. And so the fact that I've seen you especially express this in the way that you deal with people, in the way that you make them feel welcome, I think that's something that people should aspire up to because not only is that something, you know, it's an important human thing, you know, to just make people feel welcome, to make them feel included.
I
So
would love to
I
see.
applaud you
I
for
would
that.
thank you, but don't applaud me, man. It's all because of the prophet, bro. Like, I draw inspiration. I, mean, I look up to him whenever I don't have an answer. I look into his life, and you know, I find it there. Sometimes I don't, and, you know, I have to come up with it myself. But you know, that's just how it is, bro. If you don't find it in the Quran, go to the Sunnah. If you can't find it in the Sunnah, go to people who do have experience. Like, I was thinking about it the other day in the warehouse. This um weeks ago, no, months ago, a girl asked me a question that I wouldn't be able to experience. Like, what would I do in a certain situation that I wouldn't be able to experience until after marriage, right? And I answered her, and she got mad, right? She got mad, and I was thinking, okay, how could I counter that? Like, how could I avoid her getting mad? And I was all like, okay, here's a great answer, right? I don't know what I would do because I'm not in that situation. But if I were in that situation and I didn't have a solution, what I would do is I would go to the elders of that society, not just one elder, I would go to the elders who are experienced, who have dealt with that situation before, get a bunch of different answers, right? Get a bunch of different answers, evaluate, like sort them out, and find the most balanced one and just do that. That way, I think you'll be able to get stuff done. Wait, why did I bring this up? I forgot. Oh yeah, because because I was talking about the prophet. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, that was awkward, bro.
No, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
There's no
Don't
such
cut that,
thing.
bro. Don't cut it. I want it to be raw, bro.
Funny man. Yeah. No,
Mm.
for sure. I mean, you told me that like one of the coolest moments I've had with you actually is when I met you in the library one time and you told me like dude, you just gotta like trust God. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was. I think it was on the third floor, right over there. We were sitting at a table, right? You
No,
came up
no,
to
no,
my.
no. It was in the basement. It was in the basement. It was the first time I ever came to the basement.
Oh
I never went to the
yeah,
basement. Yeah.
it was at like 7 at night, right?
Yeah, or something like that. And yeah, it was at night and I don't know, you just really like handed it to me. And I was like, wow, like that was deep stuff. It was a very profound conversation.
You know, my sister got so pissed off because like she wanted to go home real bad, and like I was already dragging her. Like I was like we were already like 40 minutes behind on when I told her we would go home, right? And then she was like, "Finally, we get to go home." And you came, and I'm not blaming you at all. But I was like, "Uda, sit down. We're gonna be here for a while." You know. But to me, in my mind at the moment, I was all like, "Okay, this guy needs help, and I am not going to leave. I don't care what happens because this guy needs an answer now."
I liked that. That was deep.
Yeah, my sister hated me for a week though.
Yeah. So much has happened since then, you know? It's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
it's been a long while. That was the first semester, right?
Yeah. It
Fall of 2021.
yeah, that year, yeah. That's crazy. Damn. Yeah, so this past year, like what have been the most profound changes that have happened to you?
Well,
If you don't mind me asking.
my English is failing me right now, so I either have to search up the definition of profound or you tell it to me.
Just something, you know, special.
All right, cool, cool. You know, I have to juggle like three languages in my head because in Algeria we speak Arabic and French, and like
Yeah.
I'm from here, so yeah. Some profound and cool. I'm gonna start off with getting a buzz cut, bro. That was fun. I swear to God, man. Like last time I got a buzz cut. Wait, okay. I'll go to something. I'll go to something more important. Something that was profound and cool. I think it was like getting comfortable with talking to people. Cause like I seem like I'm good with people and talking, but I was a train wreck a couple of years ago, bro. Like this year, I took this year. My goal was okay. I need to get good at talking to people, and I practiced a lot to the point where I even got good at talking to people I didn't know at all. Like in a matter of minutes, I would have a conversation going. It's
I've
just
seen it.
practice,
You're
you
good
know?
at it.
Yeah. Time and time and time again, the amount of blunders I've made, the amount of mistakes, the amount of people who thought I was weird, the amount of people who probably talked shit, that talked bad about me behind my back. My bad, the
You're
audience.
good. You're good.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, hopefully I don't end up on Twitter, but hopefully I don't end up canceled. But yeah, I mean that's I learned best through trial and error, bro.
I like this rawness about you. I like it. I've seen it very many times and yeah, you're good. Like in person. I've told this to you before too. Like, yeah, I mean, like a couple years ago, bro, you were like kind of shy and stuff. But
Mm.
like now it's just like you just throw yourself out there back to back to back and it's really cool. I see you. You're good at it, man.
because I mean, like I said, bro, my dad made me work with him. He doesn't like whenever I say I work for him. He made me work with him because he's trying to develop me and stuff. And I saw the type of environment he put himself in, and the type of discomfort he put himself through, just so he could like just so he could provide for us. I remember this one time I was asking him, I was like, Dad, you don't like this stuff. He didn't he loved business, but he didn't love that type of business we were in. We were selling clothes. It was almost kind of like a sales role. He hated it, but he still did it. He would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He would, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning to go to other cities to get stuff.
Mm.
He would, he would. Other days he would wake up early and go open the store and be there from like 8 to 8, so literally 12 hours. Yeah, 12 hours. So that's 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 hours. Sometimes in Ramadan, bro, I used to work with him. We would be there from 8 till iftar, and then we would pray Isha, not even Tarawih, we pray Isha, and then stay at the store until like 2 o'clock in the morning because that was our busiest month. We made the most money. He didn't like what he was doing, but he still did it. He didn't like what he was doing, but he still did it. And I just saw that, and it was like, he puts himself through this much discomfort for the things he truly loves. Like, this is what I believe. I believe a lot of people like to say, oh yeah, when you go to college, you have to do what you love and stuff like that. But my question to them is this: okay, if you're going to college to do what you love, and what you love,
Donkey!
why are you doing? Why are you doing?
Donkey!
Because it isn't
Donkey!
going to get me a good job, but you want to do what you love, right? And college is for learning. It's not necessarily for money. So what you're doing this for money. You're just doing the thing that you hate the least, or at least you're doing the thing that you can tolerate and that you know that you're good at. You're not doing it because you love it, right?
I like that you mentioned this, actually. It's been something that I've been thinking about lately.
Yeah, but let me finish.
Go
Let me
ahead.
finish the
I'm
thought.
sorry
Let me
for
finish the
interrupting
thought.
you.
No, no, that's all good. Not because I want to finish this before we go back. I want to talk about the whole discomfort thing. This is something that I've actually been embracing a lot. I've been trying to embrace, but now I'm actually seeing results. Sure, do what you love, but as long as it's not impeding your performance when it comes to things that you have to do. People will try their best to stay away from what's uncomfortable, even if it means sorry about that. Even if it means jeopardizing their progress. And let me talk about myself before I talk about anybody else. And I won't talk about anybody else. I'll only talk about myself because I saw that this past year. I hit such a low point. In fact, I'll let you know now, I got myself into academic probation, especially because of this past semester that I had. The spring of 2022. I got myself into academic probation. My GPA dropped below 2.0, and the advisors sent me an email saying that I would risk being suspended for a whole semester if I didn't pick myself back up. And I had failed a class for the second time. I was like, okay, I'll take it for the third time, and hopefully I'll do it. The reason why I kept on telling myself, oh, computer science is not for me. I don't love it. It doesn't click with me, you know? So this whole philosophy drove me to the point. Okay, I drove myself, but I used this philosophy to drive myself to the point, to such a low point that I risked failing everything. And the whole reason why we came back to the United States of America was to get an education. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think this is something that people need to think about. Like, this is propaganda. It's straight up propaganda. You can't always be doing what you love. If you can do what you love, great. That's a plus. But if you can't, I'm sorry, you have to do what you have to do, or else you're gonna fail. For me, in my case, I couldn't switch no matter what. Because if I did, I would be facing 3 more years or a bad degree. Like, what am I gonna do with this? So I just accepted, I was like, okay, computer science is a really good degree. There are a bunch of jobs now. I gotta grow up, and I'm like, when I say grow up, and like, I'm very harsh on myself, but it works. I don't know about other people. For me, it works. All right. Um, this is the way my father treated me growing up. Kind of like a military, like kind of like a drill sergeant type role. For me, it just works. Okay, the whole. I know people here in this country have their way of doing things. I have my way of doing things. I'm very harsh on myself, and it works. So I was like, okay, this is a really good degree. There are a bunch of jobs. They get paid well. You gotta shut up and do the work. Stop being a loser because that's what you are. Shut up and do the work. I did the work, and the third time I passed it with a B minus. I did get help from a lot of people, but I passed it with a B minus. And I swear to God, after I told my dad, that was the first time I saw a smile from him in a year.
Wow.
That was literally last week. I am convinced wholeheartedly that this whole do what you love stuff will drive you to failure if you don't know what you're doing, man.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of beautiful points that you mentioned. Um, I don't think you're entirely wrong. You said that you feel like this philosophy is kind of propaganda. I don't entirely disagree with that because it's been something I've been thinking about a lot too. But
Mm.
one thing that I did notice is I see a lot of I see two different kinds of like adults or people that are, beyond us in jobs.
Mhm.
There's one group of adults where they just do their jobs and then they enjoy that life with their family and that's about it. And then there's another group where like they're doing these jobs but they hate them and so their hobbies are doing what they're passionate about. Um, but
I'm
I
not
do
in.
find in both of these groups that they feel like they're missing something. And I feel like what we're just discussed, I feel like something about that, something about that is what is missing in both of those groups. I haven't fully articulated it to myself yet, but I do keep noticing this trend. There's these different types of groups. So it's very interesting that you brought that up. And I'm very glad that you passed this class because I remember it was quite the hurdle for you, but I'm
It's
happy to
the
hear that.
Yeah, it was the most difficult. It is the most difficult class in the computer science like degree plan. But I just didn't have a basis, and I didn't believe in myself, and
Do you
I
believe
just
in
got
yourself
so.
now?
Oh, I have to, bro. I have to believe in myself
How
because
did
if
you
I don't
start
believe,
believing in yourself?
well, I just looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, "You're a loser," and okay, I gotta let me say that again because I was gonna curse. And I was all like, "You're a loser. Start putting your money where your money where your mouth is." I don't know, but what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say is, okay, I looked at the mirror and I was like, "You're a loser. Actually do what you say you're gonna do instead of just saying it. Put your money
Hmm.
where your mouth is. If I'm not wrong. You know what I mean? Do it, do it, do it," and I did it. So just do it. Nike,
I like that. I like
not even
that.
sponsored, bro.
You cut out the distractions too. I like that. I
Yeah,
really like
nah.
that.
I mean, social media. I got rid of all that, bro. It was driving me insane. I started seeing myself build habits that I really, really hated. Like I only posted one picture of myself, and I felt like such an attention seeker right after, bro. So I swear to God, bro. And yeah, it even got me into some problems with some people. So I was all like, "Nah, I can't do this no more, bro. It's not for me. It's not for me." I got rid of Instagram, Snapchat. Still have Facebook because nobody uses Facebook anymore.
And I imagine now you're a free man.
I am. Yeah, I even got rid of GroupMe and WhatsApp, bro. Because
Nice.
honestly, man, just look like picking up the phone and looking at notifications, seeing who's trying to talk to you and stuff like that. That wastes so much time, and it's so addicting. I hate it.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. But
I mean,
going back to
yeah.
what you were saying, how much time? Okay, going back to what you were saying about the two types of adults. I'm reading this book right now called. Do you know David Goggins? A lot of people like to don't take him seriously, but I do. Like he's awesome. He's also a Navy SEAL, which when I was growing up, I wanted to be. I don't think I'll be able to pull it off, but we'll see. Um, I was reading this book, Can't Stop Me, no, Can't Hurt Me. And he was talking about these people, how people just work, they just work their jobs and they don't really care about it. They're not trying to reach higher goals or anything. And other people who work their jobs, but that they hate, and they keep on complaining about them, but they don't do anything. To the second type of person, a person who hates their job and they don't do anything, he says, it's because you're not taking action. It's because you're afraid to take action. You're afraid to lose, which you're afraid to take a risk. That's on you. The other person, he just doesn't have any ambition. He doesn't want to go anywhere. That's on him. If you want to go somewhere, the only person putting a limit on you is you. And you got to do the work to get where you want to. Life is not easy. It's not fair. And God puts us through trials on purpose to see, puts us through trials on purpose so that we can grow, right? So that we can grow. We're supposed to go through discomfort. We just don't want to, especially nowadays when we're so comfortable. Look back like 400, 500 years of people living in the forests and God knows where, hunting, I don't know what, surviving, striving to survive every day. You know what I mean? So we gotta
Yeah.
we gotta catch ourselves in the moment and just call ourselves out. And people have to believe in themselves. What I was gonna say earlier is, if I'm not the first person to believe in myself, who is going to believe in me? I saw it this past year. Even my own parents, the people who love me the most on this earth, started losing faith in me. To the point where they lost faith in me. My mother literally started calling me a loser. And that hit me. And this one day, she called me in the morning and she was just ranting, and then it ended with her crying. And then I just snapped. I was like, that's it. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Just get me out of this situation. Alhamdulillah, man. I'm starting to see improvements.
I'm really happy for you, Amine.
I only got like a minute left, man. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Be a man. Be a man. We have a template. That template is the Prophet. All right. Follow his footsteps. Go to the gym. Make sure you don't oversleep. Drink water. Do whatever it is. Whatever it means, be a man. Don't be afraid to be a man.
I mean, thanks so much for being here. I
Yes.
unfortunately have to close because of the time, but I really appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for expressing yourself.
Thank you, man. Sorry for taking up all your time, and thank you for being generous.
No, it's cool. It's cool when people express themselves.
I hope this podcast blows up so people can realize that they need to be men and women. If you're a man, be a man. If you're a woman, be a woman. There you go. I'll say that.